Hi guys. So today I just wanted to do a little chat about some Christmas gift ideas if you're still looking, or if you're doing some last minute shopping and you stumble upon my video. I, as a person who does not like to shop last minute and plan all the way in November, it is also very hard for me to be in this place of, I have to go pick up still a few gifts. If there's something that needs shipping or cannot come to you by Christmas, I'll make a little annotation. But yep, if you're looking just for somebody for a birthday gift or like a gift exchange, this is probably a good video for you too. So it does not have to be for Christmas, it can be for Hanukkah, it can be for anything you want it to be. I'm going to start off with non-physical gifts. So non-physical gifts can be anything from subscriptions to gift cards to experiences. And as someone who really values what people give me as a gift, it is extremely refreshing to see somebody take the time to give a gift card that's like unique or just a little bit out of the norm, not just at like Walmart or Target or Starbucks. It's just one of those things where it's like they just went a step further. Starting off with subscriptions. Subscriptions is a really good idea, just for somebody that you know that spends a lot of time either online or just on TikTok or wherever. You see that they don't interact as much as they want to, just because of subscriptions stopping in the way, or their favorite influencer has merch, or just little tiny things like that you know that means the world to them, can go a long way. Subscriptions like with Twitch, or sometimes people have YouTube Premium. I'm talking about that stuff. You're a person who notices that and interacts with like them in a conversation and just saying like, oh yeah, like what are you doing nowadays? And you're like, oh, I'm watching so and so. That's also a really good introduction to a Christmas gift. As an adult, we always have bills to pay, and some of those bills are Hulu, are Netflix, are things that may seem minuscule. I would suggest to make a payment for a month for them. And normally Hulu to Netflix, it's not more than $15. And you can make it look all cute with a card, or you can just write it down or just let them know. That's also a really good idea for a Christmas gift, because then that's a month free of their favorite platform to watch shows on. Next is gift cards. So similar to subscriptions, gift cards it can go either way. Gift cards, at least in the sense that I'm talking about, you just gotta go a step further. I know that if they travel a lot to Amtrak, to Delta, to Southwest, to any European train or plane, for instance Omeo, I know that they do a lot of like search engines of just gathering all of them. They also have gift cards that you can do, and that will literally save somebody's trip and a headache. Definitely consider that if you're struggling with last minute ideas. So I had to switch angles just because of the sunlight was too strong. It just got way too strong over there. Last in our non-physical gifts is a kind of like a free day pass with whoever you're giving your gift to. This can be if they value quality time or just never really get a day with you. You haven't seen them for a while, or if they're your child or a family member, just taking them to whatever you have in mind is such a good and underrated gift. We never really get that time in the first place, just trying to fix our schedules and trying to plan for that. That is also such a really cool and unique non-physical gift to have somebody give you, of just being like, I would love to spend more time with you, value our time together within this relationship, friendship, and just being present with them. Now moving on to our physical gifts. I separated these into little categories because it was just easier for me that way, but there's no really like boundaries on which category this can go in. So if you find a gift and it's not for the specific type of person, anything and everything goes. So for the homebody, I would suggest candles. First of all, know what scents that they like and what they don't, because if you get them a scent and it is really bad, they're gonna pretend to like it and then just free gift it. Yeah, I'm sorry to say. If you know that they really like candles and like self-care and just like winding down with something that's that aesthetic, I would suggest a candle and not getting too strong of a scent. Getting a high quality candle, first of all, so that way you can, if it's local, then that's even better. That is also a homebody. They already have a billion candles and would be ideal for them. Next would be a heated blanket. So a heated blanket, this can be a heating pad or it can be an actual blanket. I would suggest to do the blanket just because it's bigger and they get more use out of it if it's winter, if they live in a place that it's cold all the way up until March. They will get a lot of use out of it, and it is something that will not even leave in the summer because they might use it when it's cold with their AC. Last for the homebody is ceramic mugs, or something that you can find at a thrift store that has like a quirky meaning. If they like something that is very unhinged, go that route, because ceramic mugs, they can have their monogram on it with their first initial. It can have anything to do with an inside joke that you two have, or it can be their favorite color, or something that's more modern and in. Also something that they will get a lot of use out of if they have their own apartment or they value gifts. That would be a very, very ideal situation to get another mug for their tea, for their hot chocolate, for whatever drink or beverage that they choose. So for the next set of gifts is for the movie lover. This can either go one way or completely the other. You can be normal and just gift like cute little trinkets or kind gifts, or you could go unhinged. There is no right or wrong way, and I think for somebody who, if they love film, if they love short films, if they love TV, if they love media and consuming it, there is no right or wrong answer for it. Starting off with popcorn buckets. Now, you could get your classic like TJ Maxx popcorn bucket that says popcorn on it, but when I say get a popcorn basket, I say look on eBay, look on Vinted, look on Facebook Marketplace, go to your local theater, see if they have any cool or really different and interesting popcorn buckets. I had recently gone to see Wicked, and they had such a cool Elphaba popcorn bucket. And if you know somebody who is obsessed with movies or obsessed with just like collecting and nostalgia and things like that, this is a perfect gift. Here are some options that I just found just scrolling on Google Images. I would be surprised they won't see it coming. That's very, very a subtle nod to people who love just like building those worlds. Next, if you know that you are somebody who grew up on VHSs or DVDs, or know somebody who loved that side of their childhood and or growing up, start them back on that collecting train. So you can make it a theme every single year of getting them really cool, unique finds. And literally you can just go to a thrift shop, a charity shop. You can go to a small business that collects trinkets and then sells them literally anywhere, because it was such at the forefront of everybody's homes and everybody's collecting when we were growing up. This is something that you can do every year, and it'll be cheap, and it will be such a cool reminder of being like, oh, I'm always thinking about you. You can literally start collecting it from January 1st and just get a VHS a month for whoever you're doing. And then that's 12, and that's starting their collection. Especially with DVDs, there are a lot of DVDs now, especially if you are the type of person that does not like to invest in a streaming platform. There are a lot of places that are now selling DVDs and Blu-rays of the things that are currently online. People just like to say, oh yeah, this is like in 10 years time, we won't have this in physical format. No, just double check to see if they have something in physical format, and if it's especially something that you guys watch together, that is also a really, really good gift. So the next thing would be an indie movie subscription. If they're totally into A24, Blumhouse Productions, Sundance, if they love supporting the up-and-coming filmmakers, up-and-coming teams, or production houses, or just like indie movie sites, they usually have a subscription. This also goes back to the non-physical gifts. You can also pair it with the subscription with something from the site. They normally sell like hats or bags or candles or themed merch from the movie itself. Just take a little look and make sure. This is also one of the things that is tight on shipping, so if you don't want to pay with shipping, just save this for next year, or save it for their birthday or whatever holiday that you do gift giving for. Last thing in this category, if you know that they like clothes, or you normally gift them clothes, or if you gift them like socks or bracelets or hair ties or whatever that you consider as clothing, and you know their size, I would not suggest it if you don't know their size. It can be like cool, fun shirts, something that is designed by a small Etsy creator, or you know that like they love posters, or something that's like themed from one of their favorite movies, or on Letterboxd. If you have access to their Letterboxd, I would suggest check that out and just see if there's something that you can get from those movies. For the music lover. Now, this is also another thing where it can get really unhinged really fast. Just, if you want to go unhinged, go unhinged. If you don't, then don't. I would suggest to get vinyls, and if they don't have a record player, get them a record player. It's such a unique experience to have physical music now. I know that growing up, we used to have like CD players and like the actual CD booklets. And if you wanted to, you could do that and just like the VHS in the movies, start them off on a CD collection, and literally you can go to Big Lots, you can ship it from Amazon next day, you can get it from a charity shop or thrift shop and go from there. If you know that their style of music is different and you find it wherever you're shopping or online, I would suggest get it to them. And you don't have to go crazy. You can just do like 2 or 3 CDs in a CD player, or just a CD player, and they'll fill it in. And that's also something that's tactical. And vinyls are also, you're getting the experience of the design of the whole package, and you're supporting the artist. I would suggest to get the vinyls and the CDs from the artist's website if you have time, but if you don't, and if you're in a pinch, it's no worries. Highly suggest getting them tickets to a concert. And I don't say this just out of nowhere. I know that as a concert photographer, it is so important to keep live music up and going and just supporting the artists on tour if they do go on tour. If you know the person who you're shopping for is a huge Harry Styles fan, or like Sabrina Carpenter or Taylor Swift, then that's different. That's more of like an investment in the person that you're buying, just because those tickets are really expensive. But I would surprise them just with, oh, this is somebody just found on the venue next to us site, and just go. If you don't like it, you can leave. If you do, then you don't have, like, you can just stay the whole time, and most of the time you'll be able to meet the artist if it's at a smaller venue. It's a win-win either way. Getting a ticket is also an experience that you can have with the person that you're getting it to. Now this one pairs well with the vinyls. Doing a personalized wine and or non-alcoholic drink, and this one does take a long time to ship, so save this for next year or save this for another special occasion. Something cool that people will enjoy and not take for granted, and something that people can give away, so they'll really cherish it when you give it to them. And lastly, this is also connecting back to the CDs. If you have an old iPod or MP3 player, clean it all up, make sure that it still works, the charger is good, and re-gift it. And if you want to keep the songs that are still on there, that's also, you don't have to do too much work from there. And it's also such a cool physical thing that there's such a, I hate to say it, but there is a trend going back to non-digital spaces and just being in the moment with whatever you're consuming with. Going on to the next thing for the book lovers and academics. This is something that you can get really personalized with, or you make it your own. It's people who are in this category or tend to gravitate towards this category, they're just fun people to begin with. Books. There are a plethora, Barnes and Nobles, your local bookstore, anything that considers your, like, you can even go to, again, the thrift shop and just pick out different books for the person that you're doing. There are some books that I recommend, and I would also suggest a journal, guided journal. Sometimes they just might need a place to write down notes. Sometimes they just might need a journal just for their classes or for whatever they're learning at the moment. I would suggest to get a hardcover journal, because hardcover journals are very durable and they last longer, and also they're the ones that stand the test of time where they can come back to it and just check out their notes. Another cool thing is like bookmarks, tote bags, accessories for your book, like a little lamp. Anything like that would go so far. They will use it again and again and again, and it's also something, if you're on a budget, something they can get for really cheap. Lamp, book, nightstand type situation. Whenever I'm on Pinterest, I always see from Urban Outfitters that they have lamp shaped book rests, and place the book where they have left off, and it's just a light. You know that they're just going to put their book down and they're not going to have a place to put it. Overall, if somebody got this, they would love it. Also, last thing, if you know that they have a Kindle or iPad or book reader of some sort, I would suggest getting a cover for it if they don't already have one. You can get some from Etsy, you can get some from any store that you find that has computer or tech in them, knowing their favorite color or just something that they would gravitate towards rather than what you would gravitate towards, because it could be different. It's just one of those things that not a lot of people think of getting, but some people really need. For the next category is the artist. And as an artist myself, I would love anything on here. I tried to pick what I would need and try to place myself in the person who's shopping for its feet. So for the first thing, tickets to an art museum. Now this can be for a exhibition, this could be for just a day pass, or this could be you could take a trip to a bigger city and do an art exhibit, art walk, art museum tour. You never know what you're gonna find. You never know if they're gonna buy merch, stuff from the museum to bring home, like pins. There's a lot of pins there. Also an experience. Now you don't have to go with them, but if you wanted to buy a ticket for you and for them, it's also a fun thing to do together. The Artist's Way, or there's a book called The Creative Act. These two books have been highly recommended, and I am starting The Artist's Way, trying it again. And it's two of those books that always are on an artist's mind and will haunt you until you finish it. You know somebody who's struggling but is artistic and just can't find the right wording, the place to be in the world. Those two books are a great start to trying to find who you are creatively. An external hard drive. This one is such a highly underrated gift. Every artist needs this. If you're a content creator, if you are like a traditional artist where you do painting, if you do photography, if you do like art collecting, if you always are on digitally with all of your scans, with all of your receipts, with all of your emails, and this is such a good gift that they will need at one point or another. This one is just a little bit more expensive, and depending on if you pick it up from a store, you can get it same day, but if you're not in that position and you need to order online, it does take a little bit longer to get to you. You will thank me later, and that person that you gifted them will thank me later. It's also a fun thing, anything Pantone. So if they are a graphic designer, or if they are somebody that paints regularly or uses colors with their work, this will save their lives. And it can be just like a little gag gift with Pantone swatches, or you can get them just like a full branding for Pantone, and they'll use it for the rest of their career. And it's something that is more of an investment, but it's definitely one of the Christmas gifts that they won't forget. Lastly, on this for the artist is a storage box or container or storage unit. I would suggest getting this for them, especially if they are very unorganized. And as me, also an unorganized artist, we always need more storage. We always need more collecting spaces to keep our stuff in. Also a very interesting gift that you can go out and pick with them, or just keep it as it is. So the second to last one is for the athlete or the person who likes to work out, likes to always be doing something, who is very active. Starting off with compression socks. I wouldn't suggest to give somebody socks unless if they actually ask for it, or just love funky colors, patterns in general. But compression socks are very pricey. They are always something that they're gonna need, especially if they do a lot of training, if they do Ironmans, if they do turkey runs, anything like that. Compression socks are very useful and they will get a lot out of it. Doing a massager or a foam roller. If they don't have one of these, their life is about to change. But if they have had these, I would suggest upgrading what they have, or just introducing it to them again, just because it's one of those things that they're always use after a workout or after doing anything, walking or stretching, or they're just gonna need it. Just point blank, they're just gonna need it. A safety necklace, and especially if they are a woman, if they normally like to work out at night or are just living by themselves, and or any situation that you know that they just like feeling safe, a safety button necklace or something that will help alert just in case if they feel unsafe, and will connect them to the police or connect them to a loved one. Anything like that would be such a really cool gift because not a lot of people are thinking about this, and it's something that we're always going to need. It's something always that it's really good to have just in general, that they'll use all year round. And the last thing is weighted vests. As an athlete, sometimes they're training for a triathlon, or they just need to train their body to get used to being active again. A way for them to shortcut and just do a weighted vest. There are ones that are made for male presenting bodies, and there are ones that are made for female presenting bodies, and I believe that you can get either or, just depending on who the person is, and just taking that into mind whenever you're buying something is also such a really cool gift that not a lot of people are going to give. Very heavy to wrap, but it's cool. The last category is for the baker, the cook, the person who just likes to spend time meal prepping or taking time with food, with anything of that sort. Mini crock pots and Dutch ovens can be very inexpensive, but you can find them at thrift stores. You can find them at Walmart. You can find them literally anywhere that they do have cheaper options. Or if you want to go full out, go full out. But for those who are just looking for something that's easy, that's cheap, I would suggest a mini crock pot or Dutch oven, just because they can continue to bake and experiment with smaller versions before they go full out and make the bigger version of it. Personalized utensils or knives. This is not something that you get every day, and also something shipping wise, please take note for next year, because this stuff takes a while, and especially if you get it off of Etsy and or Vinted, this takes a few weeks to make and a few weeks to ship. So just planting a seed for next year for you guys. Handheld mixer if they don't have one. A handheld mixer is also very good. That's what started me off with baking, and it was a game changer. If you know somebody who just likes doing things by hand, it still has that handheld feeling, but it's quicker and it saves time, and it's a good gift overall. I know that they do a lot of food shopping, or just bake and then give it away, and bake and give it away. Get them ingredients. This is something that you should double check with them first, of just being like, oh, what do you need, or what do you normally go through, and just kind of like getting a good little rundown of what they use. Ingredients are very good. Things are more expensive. You can get them flour, you can get them sugar, and it's also a cool gag gift of just being like, oh yeah, I know you bake a lot, and I thought it would be funny. We'll use it. Trust me, they will use it. Rest are just like little accessories with aprons, a measurement mat if they do a lot of baking with like croissants or things that need to be perfectly measured, cake stand or anything like that. Those gifts are very good. They're very unique, and you can also go to like Anthropologie, you can also go to H&M, you can like H&M Home, you can go to Primark, you can go to literally anything, and they will have cute options. And depending on if they are more masc or if they are more feminine, they will have either options for you there. Those are the categories that I thought out. Now I just want to go over my Christmas list, because sometimes you might take something from my Christmas list that you would love to give or to get and to put it on yours. What I have on my Christmas list is New Balances. New Balances shoes. I've had them for a long time. I use them as my athletic shoe, and just like walking a long distance in the city doing different shows, and they save my feet. And as somebody with a wider foot, it helps so much to have a sturdy shoe. They just look really pretty and cute, and I need new ones, so I put them on my list this year. I also do a lot of traveling. Everything gets everywhere, and one of the things that I have learned about this year is pastel packing cubes, and this is from the influencer Maddie Borge, and she has her own business called Pastel. And I've been wanting to try these, and I love red on pink, so I put them on there. They are order online only, and they do sell out quickly. So if you are looking for somebody who travels a lot, that's also a really good option. I also put candles on mine just because I use a lot of candles, and I like when my room is cozy, and my self-care act of just making it seem fully lit so that way I can fall asleep faster. I have a lot of unscented candles, so I just put candles, and I just left it no pine or lavender candles because I do have pets, and that is something that you have to look for if a person has pets. Also put a self-healing cutting mat, and that is, as an artist, I'm always using my X-Acto knife. I'm always cutting up things. I'm always making holes, punching holes into books and pages, and just doing a lot of cutting, and that's something that could help make my desk less ruined. And I've put my desk through a lot, so that is also something that I'm putting on my list. I also have been wanting to get into reading again because my attention span is literally the size of a pea. I have just been interested in learning how to be a part of the film industry and cooking and anything that is a really good like table read for me to put on a table, and for not necessarily for other people to look at, they could, but for me to gain inspiration from. I love media that I can take from it and be like, oh, okay, this is what I saw, this is how I want to recreate it. I have How to Read a Film by James Monaco. Heard a lot of good things about that book. Farm to Table by Julius Roberts. I've been following him on social media for a very long time. I have cooked a lot of his recipes, and it's just 10 out of 10. It works very well because his lifestyle is very quaint. He went from working in, I believe, a Michelin rated restaurant to just doing farm to table based recipes in his home and taking care of his farm. So that's also something that I would love to just work through and just pick a recipe a week and just go from there. I also have Dune Exposures by Josh Brolin. Loved their photographer and their photography on set, and that is something that I really want to do when I'm older. So if you know somebody that loves to take photos but also is interested in film, that's also a really good start for them, and it might open up some doors in their mind. Last way is the Artist Way workbook. It's like before, I had added into the artist category, adding the Artist Way. But if you know somebody that already has it, I would suggest to get them the workbook because they might not have that yet. Something that I'm going to do hand in hand with it, and I just really thought that was a really cool addition to have. Also put some perfume. I had ran out of my perfume this year, and the one that I normally wear is Nimat Parfum. I know I'm saying that wrong. It's the Vanilla Musk, and that is also such a classic. You can't go wrong with the vanilla scent. I have gold hoops and a mini projector. I wear a lot of gold hoops already. I'll love anything that anybody gifts me from there. I love gold hoops and I love anything gold. Just adding that on, and it's also a cheap option. And I'm not talking about like gold like 14 karat, no. I'm not that fancy. Like, if you're trying to get somebody who knows that loves jewelry, like go to Old Navy, go to Claire's if they're still open near you, order them online. Catbird also does some gold hoops. That's also a good option. The mini projector, if you know somebody that loves to just lay in their bed or just like in their room 24/7, that's also a really good gift option. I also put gift cards on mine. I put some of my favorite coffee shops and places I like to venture to. Some for my local cinemas and theaters or art studios, just because I want to get more into going to classes or being out more and not in my room so much. So I just put that as an option, and they're easy to get. It saves time. The last thing that I put on mine are vinyls. I don't have anything by Olivia Dean yet, and I absolutely love her. So just trying to plant little seeds in my family's mind with those. Dochi and the Sacred Souls. So I put those on there. That is my 2025 Christmas and holiday master list, if you want to call it. If you still haven't found something or know of anything that you're like, I'm still not sure about what to get them, I'll also leave some good gift guides that just came out down below, and you can watch them as well. Hope that you have a great holiday season. I hope your shopping goes well and that you get to spend time with the people that you want to the most. And or if you're spending the holidays alone, and sending all the love and all the positivity towards you. I will see you guys in the next one, and so I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you very soon.